Welcome and Namaste. We continue speaking about relationships and how we can embody more love. We are going through the Venus retrograde and we are now halfway through. So the Venus, the planet, was seen as waning moon. It was growing smaller and smaller, and today, the 3rd of June, is the day when Venus disappears from our sky. So she was an evening star before. We could see it right before, right after sunset in the evening. And then when she appears again, she's going to become a morning star. There's this beautiful transformation. And this time is very auspicious for us to do the same, to move from one state into a different, completely opposite state. That's why I believe these mindset shifts could be so important, and work on this right now is so potent. We are changing from evening and shadows and darkness into brightness, into light, into more love. So how do we change the mindset? Neuroplasticity tells us that we can change our brain. So we are able to create new neural pathways. Think about it as creating a path in the woods. So habitually we're always walking down one path. And it's convenient, it's familiar, but it doesn't take us to this place of joy and freedom. It brings us to the place of suffering and not the place where we want to belong. So what we want to do, we want to create a new path. And at first, of course, it's going to be hard even to see the direction and to see the way. But with each time you walk it, it becomes easier. It becomes inspiring more and more, because you can see that you're walking in that direction of love, joy, and freedom that you want to. And eventually your old path will get overgrown. And walking down a new path will be the only option, and very natural one. So that's what we do in our brains. Today we are speaking about the third mindset. And the old belief is that both partners need to change in order for marriage or any relationship to improve. So he needs to change. My husband must change, otherwise I cannot be happy. That's kind of very heavy, and it takes us into this victimhood right away, where I am at mercy of someone's will. New mindset is that if only me is changing, that's going to be enough to create completely new relationship, to reset it and restore mutual love. How do you like that? I know at first you may not believe it, and in this situation you may want to use what if. What if I could have that internal change within me that then is going to help our relationship thrive? What if just me doing it is enough? Well, the truth is, you cannot change your partner. You cannot change your husband. So the only possibility here is to start changing yourself. And please have in mind that if you're not married, you can apply the same mindset shifts to any relationship with a loved one, someone close to your heart, and it still will work. So how do I know it works? Well, first of all, 95%, at least 95% of all of my coaching practice, I always work with just one partner in a relationship, usually with the wife or a woman in a committed partnership, and it always brings great results. And if I want to explain it from the point of view of psychology, we have this systems theory, which is very simple. It just says that if one element in the system is changing, it's going to influence all other elements. You and your husband are not existing in isolation. You are very close to each other. You are one energetic body. And so when you change, it's inevitable that your husband will change too. My invitation here is, do not waste your time. Don't sit there and wait for your husband to start doing something. You need to get very clear on your whys. Why do I want to do it? And the answer is, you're going to change and you're going to improve your relationship, not for him, but for yourself. You do it for you. You want love, you want joy, you want that happiness. So you need to make some steps to make that happen. And otherwise, time is just going to pass by and relationship will be the same, or normally it actually gets worse. You know, all these sayings that love fades away, people grow apart. It's only true if you are not investing into your relationship. And I like looking at any relationship or marriage as one energetic body. You know, yoga is union, right? So any relationship is a little replica of that yoga. And it's up to you to treat it this way. 1 + 1 equals, not 2, equals 1. You're creating that one entity, which is something that is greater than you individually or your partner individually. However, of course, it's very important to be aware of your personal needs. You know that your needs are core to your happiness, and that's why we normally want to make sure that our needs are met. And I'm so guilty of this. At the beginning of my marriage, I was so extremely selfish without realizing it. But I knew that if I don't meet this or that need, I'm going to be miserable. So I needed to do that. But I just didn't know that it could be a win-win situation, that my needs could be met at the same time as my husband's needs could be met. So I just want to tell you that it is possible. That's not the part of this particular video, but it truly is possible. Not compromise, but to find a win-win situation where both you and your partner are meeting your needs and you are strengthening this entity of your marriage, your relationship. So everyone benefits. So if you are convinced and you are ready to start walking in that direction, I suggest that you truly commit to this. You know all your whys, why you want to do it. For yourself, for your partner, because you love him, right? You want to do it for your children, if you have any, or just for next generation, so they have better models. You want to do it for society, you want to do it for humanity, you want to do it for our Mother Earth. We all will benefit from happy people, from these light energies. And knowing your whys, you want to make a very strong commitment. Why commitment is important? Marriage or any relationship, if you're serious about building that relationship with someone, is never a 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of relationship. It's an all-in investment where you do something to keep it strong or strengthen it on a daily basis. And if you knew that it's all going to be roses and rainbows, you wouldn't need that commitment. Commitment means you are taking risks. You don't know what's the outcome going to be. And to make it easier, it's very helpful to have a time frame. I usually suggest half a year. That's how long my one-on-one coaching program lasts, 6 months. So for 6 months, I am going to be really committed to be that catalyst of love and union. And then once the time is over, you want to reevaluate and see whether you really want to continue being in this partnership. Most of the time, it's actually enough. This time is long enough to show whether you want to stay in or out. And happy news that most of the time women are staying in because their husbands change, but not because they telling them you have to do this or you have to change this way. No, they just follow that energetic flow. It's just really about knowing that you changing is enough for your relationship to improve, making that commitment, and then it boils down to 3 kind of steps. First is clarity. You want to be very clear on where you're at the moment and where you want it to be. Then second step would be taking that responsibility, knowing that it's not him who is in charge and who must make you happy. You can do it. And then the third step would be actually making actual steps, maybe just baby steps, but doing something in order to reach where you want to be, and doing it in a committed way for a period of time. Okay, so that's all I wanted to share now. If you have any questions, if you have any kind of share, I so love to hear from you. You know, speaking to the screen of my iPhone feels a little bit weird and lonely. So if you would like to share anything so we create more of a conversation here, I would really love that. And feel free to reach out to me personally if that's something that you feel safer about, if just, you know, having a group setting doesn't allow you to share that openly. Okay, my dear sisters, beautiful woman yoginis, that's all for today. Have some rest today. Venus is completely invisible now. If you're familiar with the moon cycles, it's that cycle of the Venus similar to new moon or dark moon cycle. Like, she's not visible in the sky, and it's a great time to reset your intentions and kind of seed a plant or a seed, maybe to start with, which is going to grow in this new cycle of Venus, which is, by the way, a year and a half. So we know that moon cycle is 29 days, and every new moon we kind of setting an intention and resetting ourselves. With the Venus, which is the planet of love, relationship, pleasures, beauty, this cycle is 18 months, about 18 months. So today is the day. Take your time, feel into how you want to be in your relationships. Feel into your self-love and self-worth. That's another huge theme of the Venus in this time. And then take that responsibility. It's not about anyone else but you. You can do it. I believe in you. I love you. I'm sending you so much love, and I am looking forward to seeing you next week. Be well. Namaste.